Hello and welcome to another Elden Ring class build stream with me, Impact 101 Gaming. We will be looking at this build that I've created called Dragon Hunter. From birth you have devoted your life to the hunt, collecting trophies and forging weapons and armour from the corpses of dragons. You are now the ultimate killing machine. A strength dex build using anti-dragon weapons to increase damage to all dragon type enemies. So before I dive into this build, I would like to ask if you can follow my Twitch channel or drop a like and description onto my YouTube channel for the latest content. Please go and check that out, thank you. I will be adding all of the build specs in this description of the video. Right, now into this build. So the preferred stats I would use for a level 200 plus new game build. Especially for this class, I would go for a figure of 50, mind 30, even 25 pretty much. It's only for your Bastions of War. Endurance, anything over 50 really, just for the pure weight of it all and the amount of stamina you use. Strength for this build isn't too important, so you could anything 50 and under. 28 is the minimum required, so the dex is more important, so 80 and over would be more than likely for this build, but a minimum of 37. Intelligence, faith and arcane could be anything that you desire, due to the fact that it's not needed for the build. Look at the psychic mask, mixed flasks and the crimson and cerulean flasks. For this build, for the mix, I've gone for a temporary boost of all damage and temporary enhances spontaneous guard, just due to the fact that we'll be using guard counters and using the shield quite often for this build. I've gone 12 and 2, only Ashen of War realistically for your mana, so don't really need many of those, and you'll be taking a fair few bit of damage from this build. Talismans, I've gone Greatshield Talisman, boosts his guarding ability. Curved Sword Talisman enhances guard counters, which we'll be using quite a bit. Shard of Alexander greatly boosts the attack power of skills, so that'd be all the Ashen of Wars. And two-headed Turtle Talisman greatly raises stamina recovery. Alternatively, you can use, because of the bow, you could either use one of these two, which is the Arrow Soaring Sting Talisman, and Sharpshooter Talisman. Either one would work very well. Onto the armour. So the armour I've used for this one is the Drake Knight armour set, but I've changed the helmet for Igon's helmet, alternated, just because it's a better look and it pieces pretty well together. No significant reason for the armour apart from just the appeal of it, just the way it looks. There's no spec upgrades or any kind of like modifications on it. So weapons, I've gone for a dex build for this basically, and the Dragon King's Cragblade is one of those weapons that deal additional damage to dragon type enemies, and a lot of those enemies, it roughly will do about 30% more damage to dragons, and ancient dragon types it's 15%, and that's the same for the Dragon Hunter Great Katana and the Igon's Greatbow, and the same for the Dragonclaw Shield, but apart from its Ashen Watch, it's just like a shield bash. It's mainly for the defense capabilities. Dragon Hunter's Katana. This is a DLC weapon. Say Great Katana, which is a brand new weapon subtype that came with the DLC. We're looking at the Greatbow. So this Greatbow is very effective against dragons. It's also increased power of using its special ammunition, which is the Igon's harpoons, which you can get. I'll show you how to get those later on as well. So the way a build functions and works. So it's a giant thrusting sword, so you can hide behind a shield while attacking. Take out your Great Katana, and then you've got your main offensive weapon. Ashen of War for the shield, just a great old multi-push. If we dual wield Cragblade, turn into an electric cloud and a big strike. Looks awesome, feels awesome, does damage. Katana, if you press it once, it just does a big fiery slash. Hold it down, it shoots off blade of energy. Does both of them do significant damage to most enemies, but especially dragons. The bow functions like a normal Greatbow, but it's Ashen of War. It's the same type of Ashen of War that through and through, which is just a really big shot. This one is the same, but it deals extra damage, more than that one, and especially with the harpoons. So I'll show you what kind of damage it can do against dragons. Let's go and fight a dragon, shall we? Let's start up here. So armor wise, if you're looking for if you want the Dragonclaw armor set, I'll show you that in a couple of seconds. Igon's Helm is completed by completing his quest line. You can just pick up his full armor set. Same with the bow, which is part of his set. Once fulfilling his quest line, he drops that. I'll give you a quick insight of where the drop is. Just go and fight a dragon quick and show you the capabilities of these weapons. There's a dragon. So with the harpoons, you can deal significant damage to headshots. So that's the kind of damage the bow can do. Let's go, there's a couple more down this way. The only problem I have with the Cragblade is unless you're hitting weak spots, it's, well, not weak spots, but targeted wise, it's not the most accurate. But it deals damage. Probably the Katana is probably the best. Got good reach, good slashing capabilities. So it makes easy work of dragons realistically. Obviously still take a bunch load of damage, but you know, it's a fun class considering there's a lot of dragons within this game, and especially in the DLC. So if I'll show you where you can get the Drake armor set from. Right, so by starting off in this area here, in the Dragon Temple rooftop. Gonna drop down. Right, basically you want to get to the top of this elevator. So after defeating those two here, you can take the elevator down, but before doing that you can take out this bird as well. Even the shield does. Quite a good shield if you just want to use the shield. It's not the fastest class going because it's a strength, obviously a strength build with no magic, but and quite heavy weapons. Alright, once you come down the ladder, you'll see a floating bit of broken stone here. You jump on that, jump down one more. You come to the bottom of the elevator. You can now. There is an item if you follow this round in that chest there. If you take down the elevator, and then take it back up. Once you reach the top, there will be a beastman just up here. The guard countering with a thrust sword is really decent, by the way, because you change your stance slightly, which becomes a lot more quicker thrusts. This body here is where you collect the Drake Knight set armor from. If you're looking at the so looking at the Dragon Knight's Cragblade, you get it by defeating the Dragon Lord. Played CDX, and you trade in the remembrance of the Dragon Lord to the two fingers at the round table for the blade. And the best way to get this blade is by, you can either do it by starting at beside the Great Bridge. It's a secret boss, but it's not, because it's so well known now. But at the beginning it is a secret boss because there isn't many things that point you towards it. But basically you're going to take the elevator down, Plus, this is the best way to get to the boss if you die a lot. You can run past all these enemies, but just for the sake of the build, I'll just show you. Oh. Or I just die. Either way. But yeah. Try that again, shall we? Right. So the way we want to go is come out the bottom. I can't remember, did I die or I fall off it? Yes. Yes, you do. Right, don't do that. Try and make a tutorial and I'll just keep dying. Right, anyway. Let's try this again. So you wait for the lift to come back up. Take the lift down. Come out the lift room. Send it back up just in case. Come out the lift room. Turn right. Let's try this again, shall we? Alright. Alright. Those kind of beastmen priests are quite annoying, to be fair. Both of them. Alright. Then if you follow the way out the door, there's one more to the left. Just get him just in case. So you deal quite a bit of electric damage with this combination with the shield and Cragblade. Right, a lot of people will mark the path here, but you're playing offline. You just got to look down. You drop down onto this path here. Drop down onto the next one, and carry on doing that. Onto the next one. And you want to follow the path all the way down to where I put that marker. Because I've already done it, it won't let me do it. But once you reach this part, when you come to this segment, it tells you do you want to lay down. You click A, you lay down, and as you lay down, you'll be teleported to the boss arena, which looks a little bit like this. Once you fight the dragon and kill the dragon, and then you get remembrance, which you can then claim the Cragblade from. The dragon hunter's great katana you get dropped by the ancient dragon man in the dragon pit in the DLC area, which is located just here. You have to come from this side of the bridge, follow it up and round up here. And this is where you find Igor for the first time, Igor. And you follow it round and you come to an entrance to the dragon pit. The dragon pit is quite a unique place to go because for a dungeon, it actually opens up and connects you to this whole area, which is where you fight the majority of the dragons and all of this part up here as well. It's quite a fair amount from this one place to go. Right, so to get the Katana to fight the boss, you need to follow the path, kill the beastman. These ones are the dead ones. That one done. Once you've entered this area, follow the cave through. So you want to eventually get to that area down there, that location. The fastest way to do that is to run past here. There's some enemies around here. If you lure this one around here and get out of the way of the be careful of the others that join the fight. If you wanted to, you could just run past them, which I'll show you the option now. You can then get to this area. There's a bad guy on your right, two in front of you. Turn left, you can just run around here. Follow this down. And then there's a guy stone here that basically says, show me that if you're brave, you'll follow through, basically. Which has highlighted the fact that there's a big ditch here and you don't know what you're going to do. In pure, true Souls classic games, have faith and jump. You eventually fall to the bottom, and then in front of you is the boss arena. There's an item behind as well. But once you've killed the boss, you then unlock the Great Katana. And then you follow this, open the doors, and you follow it out. And then this leads you to the rest of the dragon areas within the game, especially to one of the main bosses in this area, where the rest of the dragon is, to fight Baal. So that's where you get the Great Katana. The Dragonclaw Shield you get from the Tree Sentinel, which you fight on the capital outskirts, which is the one you have to fight to get into Lydale, which is the one that you fight just outside of here on the entrance in. The bow you get from completing the quest line for Igon by summoning him in to defeat Baal the Dread, which is the big dragon. Once you do that and you've summoned him in and killed the main boss, you go back to this location that you speak to him before going to fulfill that quest line. So the foot of the jagged peak. When you first come here, there's two dragons fighting each other. Once you kill those two, then there'll be an option to dialogue to speak to Igon. And you come back to this location, he will be laying on the floor here. You talk to him one more time, and then he drops his armor set and the bow. And he also drops a bell bearing, which you give to the round table twins, and then they will start selling them, so you can just pick them up from there. So yeah, that's pretty much the class and how it functions, where to get the main items from for the class build. The next class build I'll be making is a class that I call Vampiric Sentinel. It's another strength dex build, but this one's more tailored on the strength side rather than the dex. And it's a heavy armor, a heavy loaded armor set, just to change it up a bit. It's more just taking hits and dealing damage, more on the side of just dodging and rolling. So thank you very much for watching. I'll be putting all the specs of this build within the description of the video. If you liked what you've seen, just drop a like or subscribe to my channel. So thank you very much, and goodbye.